All right, this is it. Welcome to episode 12 of the music review. Last episode of the week. As I did mention before, Monday's episode is moving to Tuesdays. Tuesdays is a special tribute to the Notorious B.I.G. So, without further ado, today's album review is going to a 5-mic classic, Stillmatic by Nas, which is the 5th studio album by Nas, released December 18th of 2001 by Columbia Records. In contrast to his previous works, gangster rap themes such as It Was Written and I Am and Nostradamus, the album contains socially conscious and philosophical themes similar to that of his 1994 debut, Stillmatic. Nas's lyrics addresses topics on this album such as ghetto life, American politics, and his ongoing feud with Jay-Z at the time. So Stillmatic was a commercial and critical success to help him reestablish his career following a period of critical disappointment with his previous album, Nostradamus. Stillmatic debuted at number 8 on the U.S. Billboard 200 and sold over 342,600 copies in its first week of sales, eventually going on to sell over 2 million copies in the United States, in which it has later been certified platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America. Though Nas gained critical acclaim with his classic debut album, Stillmatic, in '94, his image has been quickly deteriorating in the hip-hop community with the change of his theme. From the philosophical topics of Stillmatic to the gangster rap and commercialized sound that became the focus of his later albums. While his second record, It Was Written, received positive reviews and introduced him to a greater audience, the follow-ups to I Am and Nostradamus were considered mediocre in comparison by critics. The release of Stillmatic was an attempt by Nas to reestablish his credibility in hip-hop community, and the title signifying his intention to continue where Stillmatic left off. Now, his feud with Jay-Z previously dissed Nas on his single The Takeover from The Blueprint, released in September of 2001. On Stillmatic, Nas retaliated with the anticipated song To Ether, a response to Takeover, which insinuated that Jay-Z had stolen lyrics from Biggie several times, that he had sold out, and that he was a misogynist, among other things. Several hip-hop aficionados believe Nas won the feud based on the track, which many felt was much more vicious and ruthless than Takeover, although this is still a subject of debate within hip-hop circles. Jay-Z would respond with other tracks such as People Talking, Don't You Know, and the radio freestyle Super Ugly. So without further ado, that beefs did go on. Also, Nas did appear on the December 2001 cover of The Source to promote that album and to discuss the whole, there was a drama, it was declared as the drama issue. Nas was one of 4 that appeared on the cover. Other cover artists that appeared were Jadakiss. So without further ado, and then it received 5 mics from The Source in February of 2002. I would say this is Nas's second, this is my favorite Nas album ever. Stillmatic is still classic. Put them two as my 2 favorite Nas albums ever. But like I said, this is an easy, on a scale of 1 to 10. It's 10. So such a good record. So the first single was Rule. Although it was not heavily promoted, but it still managed to reach number 67 on the Hot R&B Hip Hop Singles and Tracks chart. Although it was not made into a music video, it was issued on compact discs. So many were unaware that it was a single. Got Yourself a Gun was believed to have been the first single. Produced by Megahertz, the song contained a sample from the theme song of the HBO drama series of The Sopranos. The third single, One Mic, which received acclaim for its content and video, was released as the third single. It sampled a portion of Phil Collins' In the Air Tonight. The song peaked at number 43 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it Nas's third top 50 hit on the chart. The music video was directed by Chris Robinson and released on December 17th of 2001, which was a day before Stillmatic was released. Receiving heavy rotation on MTV, the video was nominated for Best Rap Video and Video of the Year at the 2002 MTV Video Music Awards. After the September 11th, 2001 attacks, the video's production ran into difficulties due to the restrictions of international travel. The scene was filmed in various of the riots was instead filmed in Los Angeles with participants from a local inner city baseball team playing the rioters. The scene of the rock being thrown in the direction of the camera was taken over 10 times. The actor had a bit of a curve on his throwing arm, according to the director. Before post-production work managed to complete the desired effect, Robinson also told his director of photography to open and close the shutters of the camera in the apartment scene, creating an effect of blurred streaks of light. So that's probably one of my favorite Nas songs of all time. So Stillmatic was met with generally positive reviews. So at Metacritic, which assigns a normalized rating of 100 to reviews, the album received an average score of a 69 based on 12 reviews. Some reviewing for the Village Voice in 2002 says Stillmatic, Selwyn Seifu Haynes says Stillmatic isn't merely a reunion of a rehash of Illmatic themes. The Nas on this record has grown with the emotional expansion such as maturation suggests. For one, he has never before drawn upon his anger with a burning focus and controlled intensity that underscores nearly every song. Some of it can surely be ascribed to the Jay-Z battle, but more seems due to the deeper internal struggle Nas has waged against the fallout from his early precocious success. Blender Magazine's Alex Papademos describes the album as a surprising return to form. She says, even if it's a fluke, Stillmatic still feels a renaissance. Steve Jones of USA Today states that diss songs aside, Nas's strength has always been his incisive lyrical and analysis of current events. John Bush from AllMusic says, dropping many of the mainstream hooks and featured performers in order to focus his rapping, Nas proves he's still a world-class rhymer, but he does sound out of touch in the process of defending his honor. Despite the many highlights, a few of the tracks just end up weighing him down. Elizabeth Mendez-Berry of Vibe magazine calls it infuriatingly inconsistent and also an exercise in lyrical courage and musical might. Rolling Stone magazine's Catherine McGuire says, striving to maintain street cred while reaching for pop success has left Nas vacillating clumsily on past projects, and this record is riddled with similar inconsistencies. And one moment he casts himself as a gritty cat who feels most at home on a project bench, calling out neighborhood sakes on the song Destroy and Rebuild and ducking gunshots on the song One Mic. The next, he's delivering dumbed down verses over the Trackmaster's rinky-dinky rendition, Tears of Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. In 2005, Chris Rock compiled a list of his top 25 hip-hop albums of all time, to which he ranked Stillmatic at number 20, commenting, it's like Mama Said Knock You Out 11 years earlier, where a guy just reclaimed his spot with some great records. It was also included in the Source magazine's list of 5 mic hip-hop classics, which was ranked in December of 2002. Now let's get more into Ether, the song Ether. Now, Nas named the song Ether, stating, "I was told a long time ago, ghosts and spirits don't like the fumes from either, and I just wanted to affect him with my weapon and get his soul." So, Ether has been called a classic diss track and the wildest in hip hop history by music publications. So, after a phone call, after a phone call from his mother, Jay-Z admitted he went too far and apologized. On the song Super Ugly marked the official end of the battle, although there were multiple songs where Nas threw shots at Jay-Z, including You Wanna Be Me, Everything Crazy, and then Jay-Z's Blueprint 2 that beef was mentioned on several songs. The Jay-Z versus Nas feud was beneficial to both men's careers. Stillmatic and Ether had marked the reemergence of Nas to the hip-hop scene 2 years after having released Nostradamus, which fans and critics have named it the weakest album in his discography. But so after that, both Jay-Z and Nas ended their feud in October of 2005. Jay-Z had an I Declare War where he brought Nas out. They shook hands together. They called it quits, like no more feuding with each other. So after that, ever since the feud between the two rappers has been reconciled, they have gone on to collaborate on a list of songs such as Black Republican from Nas's 2006, Hip Hop Is Dead, Success from Jay-Z's American Gangster, I Do It For Hip Hop from Ludacris's Theater of the Mind, BBC from Jay-Z's Magna Carta Holy Grail, and the unreleased song The Scientist, produced by Just Blaze, and was rumored to be a song that did not make it on Nas's Untitled album. Ever since The Legacy, it has been cited as a classic diss record and the wildest in hip-hop. In an interview, Jadakiss claims Ether sits on the mantle when it comes to battle songs. From this production to the way he formatted it to what he was saying, he touched it on everything. So, like I was saying, also, 16 years later, Remy Ma used the instrumental of Ether for her diss track Sheether, which was aimed at Nicki Minaj, released February 25th of 2017. This is such an amazing album for everyone out there. Like, if you listen to the Blueprint, I would highly suggest checking out this album. If you've listened to other Nas albums, such as It Was Written, Illmatic, I Am. So, that does it for today. This is the last episode of the week. No new episode Monday. Monday's episode is moving to Tuesday. By the way, Sunday is my 25th birthday, so our first episode, I will be 25. New episode will be me turning 25 on next week. So, without further ado, peace out. Like, subscribe, comment, follow my YouTube channel, and we're done.